Hey y'all, Trucker Zach Bell here. I'm in the cab of my Tundra right now, but I've kind of got my mind on electrification of vehicles. And the reason is because, unfortunately, well, we've hit that critical threshold thanks to conflict in a foreign country. That critical $5 threshold. And just the other night, I saw someone filling up their semi at Love's in Greenville, Tennessee, and the pump literally maxed out and wouldn't let him put any more fuel in because the dollar digits got up to $999.99. It just couldn't handle that additional dollar with today's fuel prices. So on this episode of Truckin' It, I want to talk with y'all about fuel efficiency, and I also want to talk with y'all about electrification of trucks. That's coming up right now. Hey y'all, let me see what the time is. About 9:20. Okay. Welcome back to my channel. Greetings from inside the cab of the Tundra. I'm recording a YouTube episode right now out while I wait on my church service to start. So, fuel efficiency. Let's talk about it. The first thing you've got to do if you want to improve your fuel efficiency is to maintain your vehicle. Now, that doesn't just mean checking the oil or checking the tire pressure. It also means making sure that all your lights are working on the outside and that none of your warning lights are on the inside. So things like check engine or anti-lock or VSC disabled due to problem. If you got warning lights like that coming on, you definitely need to go get your vehicle checked out by a trusted mechanic. Then, once that's done, you need to get a maintenance interval set up. So, by maintenance interval, I mean look at how you drive and then consult your big book, or what's called the owner's manual, in order to find out what kind of maintenance is required for your vehicle. Now, there's always a time and a mileage interval. If you drive less than the mileage, you go by the time interval. If you drive more than the mileage, you go by the mileage interval. For me, I get an oil change and a full maintenance inspection done about once every 6 months. And I'm coming up on one this week, where they check the tires, they check the lights, they change the oil, they check the fluids, they advise me on anything else I might need going forward. Next up is driving habits. So, vehicle maintenance, things like tire pressure, warning lights, exterior lights that malfunctioned, anything electrical. These can all impact your fuel economy, and you need to make sure that all of this is taken care of. Next up, driving habits. So, driving habits can have a huge impact on fuel economy. In fact, the number one impact on fuel economy is the driver, which would include myself, by the way. Some of y'all think of speeding tickets as badges of honor. I call them badges of dishonor for a reason. The last one I got was in 2018 and was my own dadgum fault because I was driving a vehicle that didn't have cruise control. My right foot fell asleep and I ended up doing 81 miles an hour in a 65 zone. Speed limits are there for your safety. Not just to give cops a guide to how fast you're allowed to go. Speed limits are not just a revenue grab. There's been a lot of crashes caused by vehicles that are driving too fast for conditions. So speed limits are typically based off the 95th percentile of traffic flow, and they also often take traffic conditions into account. I would strongly encourage y'all to obey the speed limits. If you've got cruise control, use it when the conditions are dry and safe. And especially if you have a modern cruise control system like the adaptive cruise on my Tundra. Next up, I want to talk with y'all about EVs. But before I do, I also want to mention that things like hard acceleration, hard braking, and hard cornering can affect your fuel economy. So slow down, be gentle, drive like you got an egg under your foot, and you'll see results probably within the next day or two on your own vehicle. Next up, let's talk EVs. There's several electric pickup trucks on the horizon. And many of those that are coming out are going to be game changers because they'll eliminate the trip to the pump in most applications. But you need to make sure that whatever EV you buy is one that's right for you and your use case. Now, me personally, I'm looking at the Ford Lightning, the Chevy Silverado EV, and the Toyota Tundra with the iForce Max hybrid powertrain. Now, the only problem with the Toyota is that it doesn't offer a pure electric option like the Ford and the Chevy do, or will soon. I'm also looking at pure EVs from dedicated EV lines, like the Ford Mustang Mach-E and the Tesla Model Y. The problem with those is they don't have the towing capacity, the 6.5-foot bed, or some of the other stuff that I need. So, pretty soon here, I'll be making a list of EV requirements for myself. And by the way, semis aren't getting left out of this revolution either. And neither are tour buses. I've heard from several different YouTubers about stuff that's upcoming in the tour bus and the electric semi industry. One vehicle that's really piqued my interest is the Freightliner E-Cascadia, which is a variant of the truck that I currently drive in terms of big rigs right now. The only difference between it and the Cascadia I currently drive is the electric powertrain. Oh, and let's not forget about charging infrastructure. Truck stops currently don't have the ability for you to charge an electric semi yet. Places like TA Petro, Pilot Flying J, and Love's Travel Stops have still got to catch up with the revolution that's going to happen very soon. And when that does happen, what I would expect to see is something similar to idle air, and the fact that truck stops definitely need bigger lots for parking. And by bigger lots, I mean no more of this wussy 25 spot per 2 million truck parking spaces like what Pilot has and what Love's has right now. In particular, I'm talking stuff that is similar to Iowa 80 truck stop in terms of size. They need infrastructure, they need it bad, and they need it now, not later. And no, I don't think the government's going to be able to help with this. It's up to the private sector to do it and do it right. So, EV charging for semis is going to be an issue if you don't have a company who's got its own charging hubs and such. And with these vehicles on the horizon, and with the parking crisis still ongoing, and with $5 a gallon plus diesel fuel, things are going to have to change real soon. If you are a leader in Congress, or in the White House, or leader of a company who sees this video, I would encourage y'all to take your time and do your research. And ask truckers like me what kind of issues we're facing so that y'all can address them at the government level or at the company level. And until next time, let's make your best trip your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep on trucking. Bye for now.